Hey boss ladies, welcome back to our channel. This week we'll be talking about female entrepreneurship, 4 work to weekend tips that will help you live your boss lady dream life. I hope you enjoy.
Hi boss ladies, this is Amy with Boss Lady Basics. I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks to help you have a more solid routine. There's so many benefits to having a consistent schedule that we want to help give you some ideas on how to implement it to make you as successful as possible. So the first tip, which of course you've heard it so many times, is to wake up and go to bed at the same time every day. So even on the weekends, you want to make it a habit, and if you don't follow through on the weekends, it can actually mess you up for most of the week. So it takes a few days to recover. You get back to being solid, and then the weekend comes again, and it's just a repeated cycle. So if you wake up and go to bed around the same time every day, it will truly help you create a more consistent routine. That will also make you feel better. Getting solid sleep, your body has a natural rhythm to it, a circadian rhythm, so you want to try to find that and stick to that as best as you can. So a few ideas or tricks and tips to help are to find a good alarm clock. There obviously some people like wake up different ways, so my biggest suggestion would be to invest in a sunrise alarm clock. There's so many benefits to that. It helps your body gradually awake over 30 minutes to an hour. It starts as like a glowing red into an orange, golden, and then to a bright white light. So it kind of helps your body slowly wake up. And then if that doesn't quite get you up, there actually is an alarm that can be added to it, radio or beeping, whatever you need, even sounds, just birds chirping, things like that. So it might be something worth investing in if you don't like that sudden jolt of waking up in the morning. So that would be my first. The second tip would be to pick 4 to 6 consistent things that you do every morning and every evening. Eating breakfast, drinking a cup of coffee or tea, meditating, stretching, working out, whatever those items are that you want to get done in the morning. And then in the evening is the exact same thing. And one of the things I see over and over and over again that they suggest is to lay out your clothes for the next day, pack your lunch or items that you're going to need as well for the day, and just have those set aside and ready. Then to do a consistent schedule, maybe facial things you do, or a shower, whatever, something kind of relaxing. And then it says, there's suggestions of spending 30 minutes to an hour, social media, watching TV, whatever other things to unwind, or reading. A lot of people like to read, but it, of course, and you've heard this, suggested at least an hour before bed, but even sooner would be better, at least 2 hours, is to turn off all electronics, TV, laptop, phone. Those all emit blue light, and I know you've heard that before, but blue light is actually emitted from the sun as well, so it can trick our body into thinking that it's a different time of day or that we need to be more awake than we are. That's why it's suggested so highly to turn those electronics off well in advance of bed, because it helps your body stay awake. So if you want to start calming down, you got to turn those off. So spend some time reading, again, meditating, stretching, doing a hobby, just something that is away from light. And then the last thing is write things down. Write down your routine that you want to do. Write down things you need to get done. Writing things down helps solidify them in our brain, truly. That's why they talk about taking notes. Writing them down is so beneficial versus typing them. Not saying that's not a good idea either, but can be really beneficial. For me and my son, I have a daily routine that we do, and it just seeing those check marks throughout the day kind of helps solidify that. Over time you can refine that and reach new goals. So I hope a few of these tips and tricks have helped give you some ideas. Find what works best for you, but definitely give it a try. There's so many great benefits, and good luck.
Hi, my name is Kim, and I'm with the Boss Lady Basics team. And today I want to talk about what I believe is one of the secret sauce ingredients to living your best life, and that is the power of saying no. Now, in a hashtag FOMO world, why would we want to say no, right? Especially to good things. And the reality is we already do, whether we realize it or not. We all have 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We all have the same amount of time, and once it's spent, it is gone. So whenever we choose to spend time, whether it's spending time with family and friends, or working out, or reading a book, or even a YouTube video, once we choose to spend that time, it means we no longer have that time to spend on something else. So I truly believe that we need to be more intentional about the things we say yes and say no to. And what does that look like? No is a complete sentence. You can simply say no. But I have a hard time doing that because, these requests are usually coming from people that I care about, people that I work with, and they are good opportunities. So I often employ what's called a sandwich strategy. And what does that mean? So recently I had a coworker approach me asking me to help him create a dashboard for a project. And after talking to him, I knew that this was a bigger project than it initially sounded, that it would require some creativity, some planning, as well as multiple layers of execution. And to be honest, I just did not have the time. No matter how badly I wanted to help, I simply couldn't within the time frame that he was requesting. So for me, my sandwich strategy was, again, to use the meat, the no, sandwiched in between a couple of yeses. So, I simply said, hey, I'm really excited about the opportunity, about this dashboard that you're creating, and the value it's going to bring to the team. So that was my first yes. And then I said, unfortunately, I don't have the time this week to give it the attention it truly deserves. There was my no. And then I followed it up with my second yes, and I said, but I also recommend that we block off a couple of hours next week for us to really sit down and start planning and start brainstorming something that is going to be effective. And he was actually really excited about that. Excited that I didn't just simply tell him no, or that I did it and gave it a half-hearted effort, and it wasn't effective. And so he was appreciative that I took it seriously and that I presented a solution that would still get it done. And so he blocked off a couple of hours and we were able to complete the project. So that's an example of something I had to say no to recently. They're not always that easy, of course, but I encourage you to look at your life and look at the things that you are saying yes to and also the things that you're saying no to, or maybe you should. Because just remember that maybe we should say no even to some good things so that we have the room in our lives to say yes to the best things. So I want to end with a quote by Tanya Dalton, and she says, happiness isn't defined by others. It is defined by you in the daily choices that you make. So I hope that this helps challenge you to look at where you're saying yes, maybe where you could say no. And again, go after saying yes to the best things and continue to live your best life. Thank you.
Another topic that we will be talking about in our video today is personal branding. And I'm sure that you've heard of the term branding before in marketing and business, but when it comes to personal branding, we're not actually promoting an item or a product or a service by a company. You are promoting yourself. So personal branding is when you promote yourself to other people. And this is very important because if you like it or not, and if you know it or not, we all have our personal brands. So you might actually have a brand without you knowing it. And why is that important? This is important even in your career. Having a personal brand is very important. And what's even more important is that you actually brand yourself and not have someone and not let someone else brand you. So if you know what you are, if you know what your talent is, if you know what your skill is, you will be able to brand yourself instead of having someone else choose what you're going to be known for or what you are known for. So how can you create your own personal brand and how can you establish it? One important thing that you have to keep in mind is being authentic. If you're not authentic, no one will believe you. So you have to be authentic because you cannot promote what you don't have. If you cannot promote a skill that you don't have, you cannot promote a talent that you do not have. So you have to keep in mind that you have to promote something that you have. And it's okay to expand your knowledge and learn more stuff along the way to build your brand. but basically you have to start with something that you already have. Another important thing that we have to keep in mind whenever we're building our strong personal brand is consistency. You have to be consistent. You can't just say something and then the next day say something else that opposes it. If you post something on social media, I mean, social media is basically a personal brand. Whatever you post on social media is your brand because you are reflecting yourself through these posts. So let's say you post an opinion one day and then the next day you decide to post something else that opposes it. This reflects inconsistency and that would make you less credible to people. So, for example, if you think of brands, they stick to certain colors and they stick to one logo. This creates consistency. Whenever you see the logo and whenever you see the colors, you like whenever you think of OSU, you think of orange, and that is consistency. If you would like to know more about personal branding and other topics, you can always check our blog, and we will be posting about personal branding soon. And if you would like to contact us, you can always reach us on our social media platforms.
Hey boss ladies, I'm here to talk about the professional dress side of this tips and tricks video. I think it's important to be able to have a self-reflective style in your everyday professional dress. I'm very passionate about fashion, so for me, I want to find items of clothing and accessories that reflect who I am as a person, but also stay within that conservative realm of being professional. So I have just one full outfit that I have picked out, and it kind of is reflective of who I am in my style. So let's get started. My first piece, I think, is a staple to any closet. I would call it your splurge item, if you will. It's a good handbag. Good handbags are essential to anything that you're doing professionally, whether you're going to have a nice bag, you're going to carry it as a briefcase, you will always need one. And I think if you splurge on a good bag, it will last you a lifetime. You just get one that will never go out of style. So for me, I splurged on this Louis Vuitton bag. I know it's a little bit pricey, but when I walk into a room, I can put anything I need in it, and it's a bag that I know is going to look good with every item of clothing that I have, whether it's a fun print or color or it's more neutral. My second item is a good pair of black pants. Black slacks are hard to come by. I hate fitted pants personally, so for me to find a good pair took a while. So these are them. They're from ASOS. They're more of a balloon pant, and they have a fun detailing on the pocket right here. They are high-waisted, which I enjoy because it adds a little bit more of a fun, playful element to it. So finding a slack that is tailored to you but also has the ability to dress up your style and be a little bit more fun and playful, I think is really important. The third item is a fun blouse. Most workplaces are very conservative on color and just a high neck, not too much skin showing. So this item is perfect because it is a blouse that is white, so it's very neutral, but it has this fun puffy sleeve, which is very in for this season. I think it's really important to show who you are and not be afraid to dress for your lifestyle or for your personality. I'm very much an out there person, and so a shirt like that is still conservative but has some fun sleeves is really a great touch. And I got that shirt and those pants both on ASOS. I will link it below, so just click on the link. They also have a great discount for students. So if you're still in school, ASOS has great professional wear, and they give you a student discount. My next thing is a good pair of mules. So these are my favorite mule ever. I wear them for everything, and I think it's important to have a shoe that's both comfortable but looks professional. I know women are expected to wear heels, but a mule is a more comfortable version of that, and they're more accepted in the workplace now. So you can go long days and walk without feeling like you need to take your shoes off. Lastly, I have for you a little bit of something that might be out there for some people, but I enjoy having a little bit of a fun pop of an accessory. So it's not too much in the clothing, it's more of the accessory. So it's just a headband. And this I like because you can wear your hair up, you can wear your hair down, you can keep it out of your face, but it just kind of adds a little bit of an element to what you're wearing, and it kind of adds a different aspect of your outfit. So if you have any questions or are interested about any of the items I talked about, I'll link them below, and I will also have you can comment and I can let you know more where I got them. Thanks so much.